Thanks for watching Roland Digs It, the only YouTube channel that is giving away a G-Shock watch every single month. And all you have to do to be entered is like and subscribe, or just throw a comment down below. Either way, I put your name in the raffle every single month. If you're already subscribed, you're already entered every single month. And I give away a G-Shock watch. I'm doing it on the 1st of every month. Next one is February the 1st. But let's get into the video. This is what we're here to talk about today. And today we're here to talk about something that is kind of important, but you overlook it. And that's the fitment of a watch. I was watching Teddy Baldessar's video the other day. And if you're not sure who he is, he's a YouTuber that does watch videos. He's kind of nerdy, light skin, dark hair, wears glasses. And I just realized I described myself. Light skin, dark hair, wears glasses, kind of nerdy. But it's this light-skinned, dark-haired, glasses-wearing nerdy guy right here, Teddy Baldessar. He was doing a video, and it was a smorgasbord video, which means a whole bunch of topics all in one. And he dedicated 1 minute to watch fitment. And it's very important. And the question that his viewer asked was this. Let's see if you can hear it.
Next question. How should your watch fit when it has no micro adjustment?
That's a very good question, because watch fitment is extremely important. Imagine, if you will, you're going to drive a car or your car, and someone went in there and they just adjusted the seat all wrong, and the steering wheel was pulled too far up or in or out. Things are just all screwy, and you don't like the way that it feels. Well, you're not going to want to drive that car. Same thing with your laces on your sneaker. You buy some sneakers and they're laced up all funky. You're not going to want to wear those sneakers. It makes it uncomfortable. The fitment of the watch bracelet or strap is also just as important. Now, he said, and I say important a lot, and I'm really putting too much emphasis on the tent. Anyways, he says that if your watch has no micro fitment, then how important is it? So I'm going to take off my watch here. This is a regular leather strap watch, but it has, little holes here for the fitment of the watch. That is not what he's talking about. What he's talking about is a bracelet watch with micro fitment. So this is a good example of a bracelet watch that has micro fitment. You see how this bracelet right here looks the way it's seen it right there. I'm just going to push it in so you can see how it adjusted itself. Pull it out. It ratchets in. It has micro adjustment. And I'm going to turn the camera around here so you can get a better idea and see closer of what I'm talking about. So that's micro adjustment. Let's put the camera on the watches themselves so you can see. All right, so I have 3 different watches here, and micro adjustment, again, like we just discussed, it really does help the watch fit just a little bit more snug, and it's a cool little feature to have on your watch. So let's say, for instance, you want it to fit a slight bit more snug at certain times of the year because they're in the hotter summer months. Your wrist will usually swell. So right now I have it set obviously very loose, but what we're going to do is just ratchet it down a little bit to where it fits pretty snug, but still a little loose. Now, some people may like it a lot looser. I prefer it right about there. For me, that's pretty good. I don't need it much tighter than that. And if you did want to wear it tighter, you could. Just ratchet this one down and it gets tighter and tighter and tighter. That is a micro adjustment bracelet. They come in handy, but there are so many watches, even more expensive ones, that do not have micro adjustments. Some of them have bracelets like this right here. Just a bunch of evenly sized links and maybe a little bit of micro fit down here on the bracelet itself, but you're going to have to get something like this sized professionally. I would also recommend that you get the watch sized at a specific time of day, and that's in the afternoon. As you sleep at night, the blood tends to pool in your fingers. So some of you may have noticed that when you wake up in the morning, sometimes your fingers or your rings fit a little tight because the blood has been pooling. But on your wrist, it's the opposite. On your wrist, when you wake up in the morning, your wrist is usually slightly a bit smaller. Throughout the day, as you use your hands and you do things like typing or working on your mouse, or you do manual labor stuff like holding a buffer for detailers in a car, your wrist may start to swell throughout the day and get bigger. And then usually one wrist is larger than the other, depending on whether or not you're left or right-handed. But near the end of the day is usually when your wrist is the widest. So I would try to go get my watch sized at the end of my day. So go to your jewelry store or your watch store, authorized dealer, wherever it is, at the end of the day, and have them size your watch when you do your purchase. Or go back and have them size it after you've already made your purchase. Try not to do it first thing in the morning or on a Saturday or a Sunday, which we all tend to do because we're out shopping and we're going to buy our watch on a Saturday and we want to get it sized. But you haven't been working all day, so therefore your wrist has not had a chance to swell up. Also, make sure you discuss to them how you want it to feel. The feel is important for me, for instance. So and in this video, by the way, that Teddy did, he talks about how he liked the Omega logo to be right in the middle of his wrist. I don't care so much about that part. If the logo of the watch is not in the middle of my wrist, that's fine. For me, what I prefer and what I want the smoothest part of the inside of this clasp or this bracelet, which is right here. I want that smoothest part right here to be rubbing right here against my inner wrist. I don't want to feel any end joints or end links or any end of the curves to rub against that. So when I wear my bracelet, or my watch, I'm sorry, when I wear my watch, I want that bracelet, that little piece right there, to be rubbing right against the inner part of my wrist so it's nice and smooth. I'm going to turn on another light right here. There we are. So I want that smooth part to be rubbing right here against my wrist. I don't want to feel an end piece of any kind rubbing against my wrist because I feel that would be too uncomfortable for me. I've had that happen. So I have them size it in a way to where that lands right at that point. And they may have to remove and take out links a couple of times to make it work. But what you're going to usually end up with is you're going to end up with one side having more links than the other side. That is typical and that's okay. And then don't forget, you also have little micro adjustments to where you can adjust this yourself at home should you need to. 1 or 2 little millimeters here each time in or out, depending on the month or how cold or how hot it is. Now, something like this right here does not have a whole lot of ability to adjust it after it's been sized. So you want to try to get this as dead on as possible. Again, do it in the afternoon, after a day of work, or as late in the day as you can if you're working many hours and you can't get away. Then you have stuff like this right here. On this Oris, for instance, this one has a diver's extension. If you're not sure what that is, that's basically like an extra little link that pops out, a little half link here. When you pull it, it pops out and gives the watch just a little bit more space. I call it a diver's extension, and some just say it's like an invisible half link or whatever they want to call it. I just call it a diver's extension. And it's just an extra little half link that folds out. It actually kind of equates the length of a whole link if you put it at the end of the little micro adjustments here. So it has that feature going for it. And then it also has the feature of half links. So you have full size links and then you have half links. So when you're getting this thing sized at the authorized dealer, you can have them remove half links or full links depending on how you want it to feel. I rarely ever open that up. I've only done it like once or twice. It was on a cruise. It was extremely hot. My wrist was extremely swollen. I probably had way too much alcohol and I needed that to happen. But as you see, with that extension open, it's extremely loose. So what we're going to do is fold it back down, lock it in place, and then put the watch on, and you'll see that once again, the smoothest part of the bracelet right here lands right on the inner part of my wrist. And the Oris logo is just slightly off-centered, but again, that's okay with me. I'm okay with that because I care more about how it feels on my wrist, on the inside of my wrist right here. This is a good feel for me. I like that. And then one final thing, which does help out a lot, and this may be helping you guys out quite a bit too, is to get a little tool. A simple little tool like this, which you can usually get from an authorized dealer if you're friends with them or you have bought some stuff from them, and they'll give you a little tool to help size your watch. It's about the size of a pen. I'll put a link down below where you can find one also from Amazon and get it for about 10 bucks. But this is basically just a simple tool that has a little sizing piece at one end to pull out an end link or a spring bar. And then on the other side, it has a little push pin to push in a spring bar. This is extremely helpful when you're out somewhere and you do have a watch like the Tudor here. But all you need to do is you want to push that little micro adjustment and adjust it that 1 little millimeter or 2. And then it packs right back up, screws tight, and goes right back into its little case here or however you carry it. And yes, I have taken this on many planes. I've never had an issue. They look at it like a pen. It's not looked at as a weapon, so I have not had any issues with traveling with my watch tool. Hopefully that helps you guys just a little bit when it comes to watch sizing. Remember, get your watch sized late in the afternoon when you've been using your hands throughout the day, so that way it has time to swell up, your wrist that is. And then do it during the warmer months. If you make a watch purchase, you will usually end up having to size your watch a little bit larger during the warmer months. And then, of course, get yourself a little tool. Should you be able to do it at home yourself, it saves a lot of time. Just popping the little bracelet out, moving it over a notch, and putting it right back in. Learn how to do that stuff. It's a lot of fun. It can be fun. It's not always so stressful. And then the very, very last is try to find a watch that has micro adjustments on the bracelet. It makes it so much easier to size it. May have to pay a little bit more for a watch like that, but micro adjustments on the bracelet really do come in handy. But hopefully that helps you guys out when it comes to the fit of your watch. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. By the way, also, post questions down below. Let me know if there's a topic that you'd like to discuss, something that you'd like to know about or talk about or have me discuss on a video when it comes to wristwatches. I'm curious. All right, thanks. Bye. Guy with dark hair, back out because now it's starting to look stupid. Only YouTube channel giving you a blah 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 blah. Can't speak.